Hey Explorers, this is Steve with Explore Atlanta, aka ATLsherpa. I'm over at Maddox Park now, and I wanted to show you how pretty this little park is. Not too many people know about it, unless you've been on some of my tours over the last 6 years. Probably never even heard of Maddox Park, but it's going to become more important here now. It's right across the street from Quarry Yards, which is the new Microsoft property. And let me show you. So this is Donnelly Hollowell Parkway right there in front, and that structure there with the reddish roof is the MARTA station, the Bankhead MARTA station. And on the other side of that building is the 90 acres that Microsoft purchased. So this park is directly across the street from that property, which they call Quarry Yards. So let me take you on a little walk through here, because this is a really pretty little park. It's named Maddox Park. This park has been here since the 1920s, I believe, and it was named after a former mayor, like several things in Atlanta here. There's the pool right there. It's been winterized, but I'm going to take you up to this pavilion up here. It's up on top of a hill, and I'm going to give you a sense of just how pretty this is. And then when I get up to the top of the hill, I'm going to tell you what's planned, and I'll give you some context for where we are, because it's really quite unique and quite beautiful. Hello. How's it going? So, let me go up these stairs here. You'll be able to see the views much better from up there. So I'm a couple thousand yards, couple thousand feet, I think, from the Atlanta Beltline, they call the main corridor. That is just east of me, and I'll show you in just a minute where that is. And then I'm also a couple thousand feet from Proctor Creek. So Maddox Park, the park that I'm in here, is right in between Proctor Creek and the Atlanta Beltline. Look how pretty this is. Now this has been redone. This pavilion actually burned down a couple years ago. I mean, yeah, pretty much the whole thing. And they rebuilt it with all this beautiful stonework. All right, so this is the Beltline over this way. Not the railroad tracks right in front of me. That's a CSX line that's still active. By the way, this is the railroad line. For those of you that have been on some of my tours over the years, you may remember the really high train trestle that goes over North Avenue. That's basically right there. That's just a few hundred feet from here. Okay, so if you look beyond these railroad tracks, there's some buildings right there. Looks to be a few thousand feet away. So the main Beltline corridor is close to those buildings, on this side of those buildings. So that's how close it is. And over there, if you look that way, that roadway that's right there is Donnelly Hollowell Parkway. The Beltline corridor goes under Donnelly Hollowell Parkway, and it continues north a little ways, and then it sort of is going to merge into Marietta Boulevard. Okay, so some of you may have been hearing some recent announcements and webinars and things by the Atlanta Beltline folks about the new West Side Connector Trail that comes in from downtown and cuts across through English Avenue and part of West Midtown over there near King Plow. And that connector trail eventually is going to come out to what they're calling it's a kind of a plaza, if you will, that's just on the other side of where this video is pointing here. If you look there and you can see Donnelly Hollowell Parkway, remember I said the Beltline corridor goes under Hollowell Parkway? Well, just under it, just a little north of that, is this plaza, is what I think what they're calling it, and it's where there's going to be kind of a confluence of trails. The West Side Connector Trail, the Beltline Trail, and then there'll be a spur to get over here to the Proctor Creek Trail, which I shot in the last video, which is across the street over by the Bankhead Station that goes through Quarry Yards. So this is a very strategic area, and I love this park. This is just I mean, you can see there's nobody here. I mean, I've been in this park probably 20 times in the last 6 years. I can count on two hands the number of people you know, that I've ever seen here the entire time. Okay, let's go this way. Now I'm heading west. This is just as interesting, if not more so. Okay, so just on the other side of that mound right there and those trees is Proctor Creek. It drops down into Proctor Creek. In my last video, I mentioned that Proctor Creek starts down near Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Headwaters are down there. Basically, they're underground now. We've paved over it and poured, you know, Northside Drive on top of it. But kind of over there between, just north of the Vine City MARTA station, on just west of Northside Drive, are the headwaters of Proctor Creek. It flows north and west into the Chattahoochee River, and it runs right through here, right just west of where you can see the video here. And it continues, it goes underneath Donnelly Hollowell Parkway, and it continues up through Quarry Yards. Some of you know that. If you've been on the Proctor Creek Greenway, you've seen the continuation of Proctor Creek. The Proctor Creek Greenway, which was planned many years ago, ultimately will go, that's a series of trails and parks, all the way out to the Chattahoochee, which is where Proctor Creek eventually ends. That's where it flows into the Chattahoochee up there kind of near just south of Bolton Road. So this is a really key place. And again, you can see just how pretty this park is. This is Maddox Park in Northwest Atlanta, right across the street from the Bankhead MARTA station. And this is one of the things I'll be talking about on my virtual tour this Saturday. I'm doing a Zoom meeting to talk about Microsoft's big announcement and the impact that it's going to have on Atlanta in general, but especially this area. And one of the things I'm going to do is help people understand all of the things that come into play here. Everything from the parks and the trails, to the new developments, to the transit, to the proposed belt line, everything else, to try to help give people some context. So anyway, I hope you can join me. This is Steve with Explore Atlanta, your ATL Sherpa. Stay curious and keep exploring.